I remember seeing this dating advice online about how you should not text a girl for 3 days after a date, which now in hindsight, as I've gotten older and more mature, sounds exactly as ridiculous as it is. But the reality is that this type of advice exists online, and there's millions of young men who don't know any better. If you are inexperienced, maybe you're shy, you don't go out that much, you don't interact with real people that much, this advice that you find, it makes sense. You're listening to people who seem to have authority. They have a following, they even claim to have experience. And what do you know? And this is obviously a part of the whole manosphere and the discussions online related to being a man, being masculine, finding a woman, etc., which is very appealing to young men. But now that I am older, in my 30s and more mature, I want to tackle some of those bullshit advices that you can find online. I want to tackle the whole concept of how you shouldn't chase women, how you shouldn't look weak, how you should be mysterious, etc. Because I remember watching those videos myself when I was younger and believing them. And I screwed up multiple opportunities online with girls who I was chatting with. And now there was this guy who commented on my video. I even made a video about him specifically last week. But I still want to talk around this whole bigger picture so that somebody younger who's watching this might understand what they should actually try to do when they are craving for a relationship, they're interested in finding somebody. How should you actually behave? What advice is good advice then? So let us start with not texting for 3 days. Okay, maybe it can work for somebody who's an absolute Chad, wealthy, charismatic. The date was somehow absolutely amazing and the girl thinks, hey, I really want this guy to provide for me. Maybe you have money, maybe you are just an actor level handsome. Maybe then it's gonna work. But if you are an ordinary dude, if you don't text a girl for 3 days, they're gonna think, what the hell is wrong with this dude? And to make matters worse, women know about this bullshit by now. Maybe 10 years ago, most women, they wouldn't know. You would be silent for 3 days or a day or two, whatever. And they would think, well, that's weird. I thought the date was good, but I haven't heard from him. Well, on to the next one, on to the next guy. Because women usually have a line of guys waiting for their turn. That's just reality. We have to compete with other guys. Girls don't have to compete over us. Unless, like I said, we look like an absolute Chad or we have tons of money or whatever. So that there's a very specific reason for that girl to go after us. So as I said, a lot of girls know about this by now. And they actually play the same game, which is absolutely ridiculous and stupid. It's retarded. So as an ordinary guy, what should you do if you have a decent date? Well, here's what you should do. You should do exactly how you feel about doing. If you are in a healthy place mentally, your life is decent, everything's going okay for you. And if it's not, then you gotta work on yourself. You can't be a miserable piece of shit and then expect to find a good woman. A good woman is not interested in a guy who's miserable, who has nothing going on for him. Why would she be? Why would you be interested in a very low quality woman? It goes both ways. That's why it's important to try to be the best version of yourself, whether you're single or in a relationship. So if you enjoyed the date, you should tell her, you should let her know, because it's not weakness. If you show that you are not afraid of rejection, that's actually strength. It's not weakness. It's the other way around. And also, this is a very important point. If you want a healthy, wholesome relationship, why on earth would you build that relationship on deception, on manipulation, on uncertainty? Because that's what it is. That's the whole point of not texting somebody for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it may be. It's a deliberate attempt to create uncertainty. You are trying to create a specific reaction in another person by saying certain things, pulling away, behaving in a certain way. That's manipulation. You're manipulating a girl so that she would feel negative emotions that would make her come to you, make her more, I don't know, obsessed about you. How is that gonna turn into a good, wholesome relationship? Maybe that stuff works with broken girls who you just want to have some fun with. But if you want to be a wholesome guy and find a good woman, you have to start building everything from day one on honesty, on genuine connection, on truth of what you want, how you feel, and also safety. Do you want a girl to feel uncertain, or do you want a girl to feel safe? What type of a woman will be attracted to you based on those things? A broken woman might be attracted to you when she feels uncertain, but a healthy, good woman, she thinks, oh, I feel safe, I feel good. This guy is different from those other people. All those other guys, they never text me immediately. They never show me what they really want, what they really are, how they really feel. But this guy's different. This guy is actually himself. He's not afraid of showing his emotions. He's not afraid of being soft with me. And I would like to share one real life example from my own life, the other way around. I went on 2 dates with a girl who I met on Tinder. This is many, many years ago. And I remember specifically after the second date, which was really great. When that girl got home, she texted me immediately that she got home safely and that she really enjoyed our date. You know how that made me feel? It made me feel happy. It made me feel good. That's what you want. If you are dating a person who you want to build something with, you see something with, you see a potential future with, you want to make her feel good. She should want to make you feel good as well. It's pretty damn simple at the end of the day. It's literally about just being who you are, as long as you're not a total mess. Because a lot of guys, they are a total mess. If you spend your whole life alone, craving for connection, then it's gonna mess with your head. But that's all the more reason why you need experiences. You need to get rejected more. You need to see people more. You need more experience. You need to learn from your own mistakes more. And you know what happened when that girl texted me that she had a great date with me? I told her, oh, well, I feel like I don't really need Tinder anymore, because I also agree that was really good. And then she said, oh, well, I actually have another date coming up. You know how that felt? That felt like a slap in the face. That felt absolutely awful. But that's the reality. Women always have other guys lining up to them, and you compete with those guys. And then I didn't text that much with her for like almost a week, because I went to travel with my brother. And then when it was almost the time for me to come back home from that trip, I texted her like, hey, should we go on another date? And she said, well, actually, this other guy, I'm leaning into him more. So she rejected me. So just because I went away on a trip for 1 week, that was enough time for the other guy to win her over. Which was a good thing. I didn't waste my time more than that. But you see, there was no bullshit here. There was no games here. I told her I don't really feel like I need Tinder anymore, because I feel like our dates have been so good that I don't really care about dating other girls. And then she told me, yeah, well, I have this other guy who I still want to see. And then she saw him and chose him and rejected me. And I felt like shit. And that's life. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna get rejected. But the more honest you are, the more straightforward you are, the quicker you will get rejected. And then you can move on with your life. And it's kind of funny because it seems to me like women are actually a lot better at moving on, which is probably because they get so much more attention. Sure. But still, I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comments. But I think it's kind of pathetic how afraid we men are of getting rejected. That's why I didn't deal with women that much in my 20s. I was so afraid of getting rejected. I felt like my heart is ripped out of my chest each time I get rejected. I made it such a big deal when I shouldn't have. I should have accepted the dynamics of this world. Anyway, rant over. I don't know why today I felt a little bit fed up with things, with certain things. So that's why I was a bit grumpy. I hope you enjoyed this video nevertheless. Please do leave a comment below what you thought of everything I said. And leave the video a like, consider subscribing, etc. Now I'm gonna go out into the sunshine and enjoy my day, and I hope you will do the same. Let us not be negative, let us not carry resentment in our hearts, even if we feel like the world is kicking us in the head. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.